We are
Hello,
apparently
everyone.
live.
Welcome to the main event. You're back with me, Daniel.
And Aaron.
Nearly forgot your line there, Aaron. You've only got 2 words to say. And we are joined once again by Cameron, the football manager scout, who will only pick players if 50% of the population haven't ever heard of them before. How you doing, Cameron? You all right, mate?
I'm doing very well.
Are you excited to see which obscure picks you can get from Malmo this year and Sheriff FC, whoever they are?
I can't wait. I've already had me scouts on Brentford on Football Manager doing the job for us.
Okay, then. That's Midtjylland, isn't it? Their owners.
Yes.
It's not quite the same thing.
Not quite the level, but
yeah. We have had a couple of bits of breaking news. We usually wait a couple of minutes. The draw isn't starting just yet. And I think last year, didn't they do like awards and stuff at this time? Like in between draws, there was midfielder of the year and defender of the year and stuff like that. So I don't know if they're doing that again. But it looks like Cristiano Ronaldo has agreed personal terms with Man City. And speaking of Manchester City, Benjamin Mendy's been suspended because he has multiple counts of sexual assault levied against him. So whilst the police investigation's pending and going on,
allegedly,
they've suspended him. So yeah, he's innocent until proven guilty. But if he's guilty, that is absolutely horrific. What a thing to read, just as I'm waiting for the Champions League to pop up. So yeah, that was a drama-filled 2 minutes for Man City. Some good and some absolutely horrific news. So fingers crossed that all works out one way or another. The draw looks like it's starting. We have a mad pot 2. A lot of strong teams are in pot 2, and I know that you mentioned it on the podcast the other day, Aaron, on our live stream. There's going to be some sticky fixtures, but I think if we look at pot 1, teams are going to want to be getting Sporting Lisbon out of that lot, I think, and Villarreal. I'd say they're the 2 weak links in pot 1 in particular. Got any thoughts on it, Cameron?
Yeah. I would personally just want Bruges or Young Boys if I was any of them. Or just talk about pot 2.
Just talk about pot 1 if you were listening, mate. Never mind.
Oh, I was talking about pot 2. I just heard you say pot 2. Strong start.
Strong start for Cameron. He doesn't listen to anyone.
Oh yeah, pot 1. Sporting Lisbon, in Lille. I think Lille might have quite a strong Champions League.
Do you think?
Because yeah, I mean, they won the curtain raiser of the French league, of their version of the Community Shield. I mean, they've lost Mike in goal. I can't pronounce his last name, so I just call him Mike.
First name terms.
Yeah. But so that might be a little bit of a hinder, but I think they might do quite well. I think they'll surprise a few people.
I think Lille have actually struggled at the beginning of the season. From what I remember looking at, I've already been trying to keep up to date with everyone, so I don't have to bulk so much content into one like we did last year with me and Aaron running on fumes for those group previews. So Lille looks that none of the French teams have started greatly. I know even PSG have won their games, but would mention in the previous live stream that they nearly squandered a 3-goal lead, ended up winning 4-2. Same happened this weekend where they were comfortably in the lead and they allowed the other team to come back into it. So their defense is looking a bit shaky for all the potential Hakimi owners, and I'm obviously bigging up Marquinhos at times. Aaron, is there anyone from this group that you're looking at? Not necessarily pot 1 or pot 2 or anything. Is there just any teams that you've got your eye on this year?
Definitely keeping an eye out on what group that AC Milan get put into. Obviously, I would consider myself a fan, so quite interested, especially because they're in pot 4. It's got group of death written all over it. I think that they're going to get stitched up. Hopefully sneak into a second place with a few upsets. And obviously, pot 1 aren't all the strongest teams. I would say pot 2 has a lot of the stronger teams. So hopefully we get a nice draw in that regard and can sneak into second, or if not, hopefully Europa League at best. But definitely keeping an eye on them, but also just obviously the English teams, because it's always interesting to see the emphasis that they put on the Champions League compared to the league. It's that kind of Europe versus Premier League battle. And it'll be interesting to see what groups they get, because there's been a few tasty groups over the previous years, like Man United last year, Liverpool last year got very tasty groups. So it was quite exciting to watch.
So obviously you're supporting AC Milan and all this. You can no longer be a part of the Atalanta fan league, Aaron, especially how they aren't exactly local rivals, but they are very close to each other, Milan and Bergamo. Cameron, do you have a team that you're supporting this year?
I do like Wolfsburg, because I know they struggled over the last, like, the 4, 5, 6 years ago, and then they've kind of on the way back up. I know, and I like both Nemecha brothers. I know Felix hasn't played at all, I think, this season, but Lucas came off the bench in the last game and did score. And Weghorst up front, I think, is a very dangerous striker, and I think fairly underrated. I think he's starting to get a bit more rated. Then after that, Dortmund. I've always liked Dortmund. I just like the way they play.
Me too.
Like the team, and yeah, that's about it.
Yeah, I've been a fan of Dortmund since the Jurgen Klopp 2011, 2012, 2013 sort of period of time. For me, it's going to be the black and blue armies of Atalanta and Club Brugge all over again. We speak about Atalanta all the time, but I'm excited randomly to see how Club Brugge are getting on again. Just we had some cult heroes last year of Christian de Ketelaere, Vanaken Skywalker, Darth Vormer. So they've got a nice little contingent of attacking players in there, and we've seen that de Ketelaere's a midfielder again. 6 million though, so he's not going to be that 4.5 gem that we're probably looking for in midfield. And that's probably what I'm most excited for. Once we can get this group draw out of the way, is specifically targeting the right players for the jobs. We're having a little, just as an update, draw should be starting in a few minutes. They've got some interviews on at the minute that I don't even know who they're interviewing, to be fair.
They're currently doing the Danish medical team that helped Christian Eriksen.
Oh, that's good. We should probably watch this then. It's that's really, really good, actually.
So these are the 2 physios that and the medical staff
that's great. To be fair, it's good that they're highlighting this. I think it's important that they should highlight. Just for reference, I don't have any sound on. Obviously, I don't want my mic to be picking up the sound, which is why I didn't know who they were. But more of this, I think. Obviously, the more that it's brought the attention of people, that if we can save lives on the pitch, it can happen anywhere. I know, and I think it was either Cameron or Nathan's mentioned that they know some people that have passed out on the field before whilst playing.
Oh, I played 5-a-side the day before the Eriksen thing, and someone that I played with, the same thing happened on the 7-a-side pitch. But he'd had a heart attack when he was little, and he still had he basically just fell over and tore the scar open on his heart. But he's fine. He's fine good. Now, and
good.
He's recovering. He's at home and pretty much back to the way he was before. But I don't think he's going to play football again. But he's got the same machine that Eriksen's got.
Yeah, Daley Blind's got one as well, hasn't he?
Yeah.
I heard a little while ago that the Serie A weren't going to let him play. Hi, Abdul. How are you doing? Nice to see you join us. yeah, anyone, if you've got FPL buddy, hello. Anyone, if you've got any comments, any questions, let us know. Right. I don't know how to pronounce your name. I think it's Nikhil. But let me know. I've got your number. So just phonetically pronounce how I should pronounce your name. If I get anything wrong, I am sorry. Being from Newcastle, I can barely speak English. So anything else, we're already at a disadvantage.
Good luck trying to pronounce these teams that come out in the draw.
Oh, it was good last year, wasn't it? It took us a little while. Ferencvaros. Midland, that was no idea when that one first came out. Are there any hard ones this year?
I don't think so.
I don't think we've got any hard ones. Hi, Harsh. How are you doing?
I still can't pronounce the Turkish team that beat Man United last year.
Başakşehir. Istanbul Başakşehir.
Oh, is it? I know it's Besiktas. Is that it? They didn't beat Man United last year.
It's a different team, but yes. Besiktas.
But yeah, I can hardly pronounce that.
It's the same, doesn't it? You like that guy from How I Met Your Mother when he had the Man City top on, was like, "Come on, Man United," and when he took that selfie. All the equivalent of that guy, Aaron. Well done.
Honestly, I'll accept that. That's a compliment being accepted. But no, although me just being totally naive, in pot 4, Sheriff.
Yeah.
Never heard of them.
No, neither have I.
Neither have I.
So that'll be quite interesting.
So they'll come second in the group.
Probably. Whoever gets them, that is just all lights a go for captaincies.
Well, they beat Dynamo Zagreb in the playoffs to get here, so quite comfortably. So
they seem like a type of team that Man United would struggle against. Like go out there, field a really weak team, and then they just barely scrape past them or maybe draw.
Did Nick? Okay, I'll just call you Nick. Thank you. Yeah, didn't Liverpool draw their second game with Midtjylland? Am I getting that wrong? Was that a 1-1 draw? Am I getting that wrong?
Don't believe they drew.
I cannot remember, but I'm sure there was one game against Midtjylland where they didn't have a very nice time of it.
I think they still won, but I think it was Atalanta that drew against them.
Against Midtjylland. Could have been.
Yeah.
And Atalanta are a really, really strong attacking team.
They're having an applause for Eriksen.
Fair play. We'll give him a little one. I don't want to catch on the mic.
Yeah.
Hi, Aditya. Sorry if I butchered your name. I am really sorry. But hello. Here we go.
There's a nice easy.
Hi, Dan. You're right. Yes, the team tinkering does start today, and especially with the news that Ronaldo might be going to City. I am very disappointed that Atalanta are in pot 3 because we all love Gosens. I think a lot of people are going to be on the Melee bandwagon this year, and it all depends on who their pot 1 and pot 2 teams are, because it could go great or absolutely shockingly bad for them. But that's whichever pot 1 or 2 team gets Atalanta will be kicking themselves.
I think they're just like given the awards for the team and everything like that.
The central defender, I can't pronounce his last name. Kier, he's getting one, isn't he?
Yeah, just do what you normally do, Cameron. Go first names. Simon. There you go.
But I would have said Simon.
I think you've got to pronounce it differently.
Is it like James in James when he hasn't got an accent?
Yeah, David Ginola, not David Ginola, that sort of thing. Yeah. Oh, he's dressed very casually. For people that can't see, he's got a blazer on, but his shirt's untucked. He's got a little tie that's chopped off at the bottom. Questionable colour scheme. Not sure about that one.
Straight from the
Do we know
start.
who is actually drawing today? Like in terms of you usually got some ex-players on.
Yeah, they haven't announced anything yet, I don't believe.
They've usually
But,
got the Claudio Ranieri lookalike as well. He's usually on here.
And one of the ex-players really struggles to open one of the balls.
Yeah,
Get someone else.
Gets stuck, doesn't it?
Just going back to what you said before, Dan, just Atalanta being in pot 3 and Juventus being in pot 2, I think that's a bit of a joke, to be honest. Because Atalanta finished 2nd last year. Juventus finished 5th.
Is it not based on
or
club
4th?
coefficient?
Yeah, it's on a 5-year coefficient, I think.
Yeah,
it's jammy, and obviously Juventus have the finals in their corner, so helps them out a lot. But it is annoying, especially when Atalanta were a much better team than Juventus last year, and are probably still going to get drawn into a group of death.
Yeah, but Juventus are a team in pot 2 that I think we should be targeting against. They are a rubbish team, especially if Ronaldo leaves. Like they've got Chiesa, who was at 9, Morata, I think's 9. They're their best players. I know that they've got obviously the central defenders are excellent, but as we always say, Chiellini will get injured. We said that at the beginning of the Euros, and it proved to be 20 minutes into the second game, he picks up his injuries, world class on his day, but I can't be bothered with the injuries. And when he's not there, they struggle without him. So if they've got nothing going forward, really, except for Chiesa bombing down the wing, and nothing else at the back, they've got nothing in the centre of the pitch. They're very, very, very timid outside of Weston McKennie. So I think people might say the name Juventus and go, "Oh, this could be a difficult sort of group." I actually think whoever is in pot 1 and they're in Juventus's group, as long as they don't get an Atalanta, for example, and it's not Sporting Lisbon or someone like that, more than comfortable picking players from that team. It'd be interesting if Man City get Juventus. That'd be very, very interesting. I think I called last year Juventus Barcelona, didn't I, for Messi Ronaldo. So that's gonna be my prediction today, is that Man City will draw from pot 1, will draw Juventus from pot 2.
I guess that's the second half of their team there.
Yeah, Abdul, you're right. We're just going to call them Sheriff, though.
Yeah.
Not Sheriff Tiraspol. I'll just forget the Tiraspol bit, to be fair.
I think there was a bit more on the end of that, by judging by he put the ellipsis on the end.
We'll just call it Sheriff. We'll do ourselves a favour. Do you have any predictions? Anyone that you think, gut feelings, or any matchups that you'd like to see, Cameron?
I'd like to see Chelsea get a hard group just to see if they can repeat or challenge again like they did last year, and obviously live up to the expectations of this year. Villarreal, I'd look forward to seeing if they can obviously step up from winning the Europa League last season to potentially getting out the groups. And then I would love to see a group of death of like Man City, Barcelona, or basically all the big teams out of all 4, just shove them into one and then see who wins it. And I would like to see some smaller teams get through because I like the shock.
Or Real Madrid pot 2.
Yeah.
Yes, Nick. With Allegri being back, you could very well be right that there'll be a more defensive team. That's Aaron's forte. Do you want to address that one, Aaron?
Dybala has definitely played better. I think it was the season before Ronaldo got there, when it was Higuain and Dybala up front, where Dybala finished top of assists for the league. And I think he still scored double digits. I think that was the season where he single-handedly knocked out Barcelona won that first leg for them when he scored the 2 at the new camp. But with Dybala, it's always been that kind of hype of when's he going to become that world-class player? When's he going to do it consistently? And he's just never really took that step up. So if there's going to be a season to do it, it's going to be now. He had a good start of the season this past week, and I think Allegri is going to be the coach that does it for him, but it wouldn't shock me if he just goes back into being who Dybala normally is, which is very inconsistent or injured. So it's a good shout, though. If there is going to be a time to do it for Dybala, it's definitely this season.
How old's he, Aaron? He's getting on now, isn't he? 28 or something?
I think he's the same age as Pogba.
27, 28, it sort of.
Yeah.
Still looks 18 though, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Miraculous skin, that kid. City to get easy group again. I like them to be challenged.
I don't think
UCL
really.
Final in Russia again. How many times did Russia get a final?
I don't think the first 3 pots is really an easy group, unless you maybe get Shakhtar. But even then, they throw up some upsets.
We've got there in the chat. United to get an easy group again, and then FPL buddy back with why do we all want United to have a group of death? I'm not really too fussed either way on Man United. We'll just see what they get. The reason why I want Man City to get Juventus is I just think it's a brilliant narrative if one leaves for the other. If not, if Cristiano Ronaldo doesn't go to Juventus, then I'd like to see Man United versus Juventus. Let him go back there again for a game. I just like little stories.
I think Ronaldo's loyalty was more towards Sir Alex Ferguson than it was to Man United, because when he first played against them, when he jumped the whole height of Evra, he scored at Old Trafford and he held his hands up and apologised. But then when he played against them with Juventus and he scored that volley over the shoulder, he pulled his top up, showed his abs. And so I think his loyalty is more towards Sir Alex Ferguson than it is to Manchester United as a team.
I don't believe in players not celebrating goals. So if you score against an old team, celebrate. You've scored a goal. Especially if Ronaldo, he's not celebrated the first time he scored against them. So celebrate the next time. You've already muted your celebration once.
I just think it's everyone's own personal choice. If they want to celebrate. If they don't, it just depends. I just think it depends.
There's levels
on the situation, how long you've been there for. Like Frank Lampard's Mr. Chelsea, when he scored for Man City against them, I thought he's not running over the Chelsea fans going, "Way, look at me." I don't.
But you've got
that's
Adebayo.
Yeah, but they're very different people for a start, but also they had very different careers at their clubs. Like I say, Frank Lampard is Mr. Chelsea, their all-time top goal scorer, won Champions Leagues, won their first Premier Leagues. I think he won, how many did he win? 3 or 4 at Chelsea? So it's very different circumstances, whereas Adebayo was at Arsenal for a number of years. Did he win anything? Might win an FA Cup or something like that?
No.
Yeah, I just think it's very, very different circumstances. For people not watching, we have our first guest in terms of the draw. It's Michael Essien, who looks like he'll be involved in the draw. Absolute legend. Cameron, I don't know if you, or even Aaron, to be fair, are you old enough to remember when he was completely dominant for Lyon in that ridiculous midfield?
No, I only remember him for Chelsea.
Yeah,
what a player.
But he was one of my favourite players when I first started to get into football. So
always score a screamer.
Yeah. Because one of my first, because if people recall, and people might not remember, obviously I was a bit frustrated when Barcelona won at Stamford Bridge, UEFA Gate. And obviously Essien scored that screamer in the first 10 minutes, didn't he? Off the crossbar. So he was one of my favourite players before that point. And then when he scored that, it was kind of cemented in history.
that outside of the foot goal against Arsenal was an absolute peach. But
Yeah.
before he joined Chelsea, he was at Lyon, and that their midfield was just totally dominant with him. And I think Lloris was in goal for Lyon at the time. They got to a Champions League semi-final, and for 2 or 3 years, they were everyone's dark horses. They were kind of like the Atalanta of the mid 2000s. To be fair, really fun to watch. Just technical quality, very, very, very powerful. They'd run all day long. And just totally fearless. Weren't particularly bothered about defending either. Although the way that they set up, it wasn't like Atlanta where every game was 4-3 and 5-2. I think we've got a spoiler there from Daniel Ivanovic.
Well, no, he's the
No, he said he's
the other
FPL legend.
He's the other.
Oh,
person.
FPL legend.
Because funny, because people on the UEFA stream are commenting, reminding us all about the time when Hazard was laughing at Ivanovic's English accent.
I can't remember that.
Because I thought he was laughing at him because he didn't realise he was suspended for the next game or something.
Oh no, there was an advert that Chelsea did where they're trying to promote something, and Ivanovic has to finish off the sentence, but he's trying to speak English, but it's like so rough, and Hazard can't keep a straight face and just cries laughing at Ivanovic's attempted English. Bless him. I mean, it's not very nice when you're trying to learn a new language and someone just laughs at your face, who also isn't from that country. But,
at least Hazard's Belgian, so it's not like English is his first language either. It'd be different if it was an English person laughing at him.
Yeah, exactly.
Like, how's your Russian?
Yeah, it's not good. It's not good.
I tell you what, they love to drag this out, don't they?
Yeah.
They can't just, right, got some names here, pull it out.
Should be like the Carabao Cup draw. Straight in
I don't think I've ever seen a Carabao Cup draw in my life.
I watched one last night.
That'd be exciting for you, though, Cameron. You're a Sunderland supporter.
Yeah, 3rd round.
I know. We won't be there.
I was so happy. Because I didn't want you to the next round.
Oh, yeah, that would have been good. Good little derby. So, Edouard Mendy looks like he's getting goalkeeper of the tournament.
Fair enough.
For last season. Do you agree with that? Do you agree with Edouard Mendy getting goalkeeper of the tournament?
He won it, so he was always going to be a front runner.
I believe it was him and Edison kept the most clean sheets in the Champions League. So, and then obviously the difference between the two is Mendy won it. So
yeah,
I think that's pretty fair.
Yeah, Panos receiving goalkeeper of the year, Barcelona goalkeeper for the women's.
I mean, deserved as well. She had a great. I didn't know they were doing speeches.
Disappointment.
It's just
speeches.
It was just hanging about with like proper saying nice things about her. Then, she's doing a speech.
I'll accept her sporting achievement, but when it comes, no, I'm joking. Let's not go down that way.
It's just get on with the draw, isn't it? That's what we have.
Yeah, because they're gonna do the other awards in the middle, and yeah,
like it's after every round, isn't it? They do something else. Been here for half an hour. Come on.
They've literally not, and they'll probably do like a little promo for each team that's in each pot as well.
Got Edouard Mendy's turn here.
Little VT before when they get picked out.
Did I tell you what's the most annoying thing about these things is I wonder how many takes it took. He's like, sorry, I couldn't be there in person. And you're like, how many times did you say that?
Judging by the take, I'm going to say once.
Yeah, I think they're well trained in what they say.
Big flashcards behind the camera. Just like that. Panos looked quite relaxed when she was given hers, though. She looked dead chilled, looked natural. Edouard Mendy looks absolutely petrified.
I've just seen Hilario as he the Chelsea goalkeeper coach.
Yeah.
He's
All right. I was just wondering why. I just saw the subtitles. I was wondering why he got mentioned.
All right.
I thought he was comparing himself to Hilario.
Drum roll.
First team out.
So obviously, I don't know if anyone else has had these things. So we were scared that if we did logos, that it'd be a little bit just playing it safe, just going to write the names of the teams. But I don't know if you've ever had someone look over your shoulder when you're typing and you just can't type anymore, and you end up pressing like 5 different keys at once.
So forgive you.
Is that how you feel, Aaron?
Yeah, just obviously I didn't expect to be typing to the whole of YouTube. So
the whole of YouTube, maybe 30 or 40 people, perhaps. I mean, we're not one of those accounts with 6 million subscribers, Aaron. You're all right.
Hey, don't take this away from me. The pressure's real. It's like unscrewing the ball. It's real. Man, people look sick. They just look so bored in them seats, and I do not blame them.
Didn't realise Heston Blumenthal was there, sat in the back. Oh, here he is. Claudio Ranieri, version 2. The knockoff Claudio.
Lille. Lille first team out. That's my prediction.
I was like, whoa, you're miles ahead of me.
Yeah,
that's my prediction.
Yeah, that's the thing. All of our streams could be at different moments. So
yeah, I think I'm like half a second or a second behind Dan, because when he mentioned the guy with his shirt untucked, that was a couple of seconds later.
I think he's just explaining the fact that if you're from the same country, you can't get drawn. So, for example,
mate, and no one understands anyway. Just crack on. I'm sure they've all signed a contract for the rules, so they know.
Do you not reckon that presenter looks like Mark Ruffalo?
Yeah, I think you said this last time.
Is it the same presenter?
Fine. He looks a little bit. Here we go. Just looking at these again.
Oh, they're going team by team.
It's like we don't know who they are. Honestly, why they got to make it like the Eurovision Song Contest?
Hello, England.
It's probably a
Nil point.
Then he'll start singing.
They're making their mind up.
Dan, I still can't forget that time when you told me that Eurovision, all of the songs are terrible, even the ones that win it.
Yes,
I think you should.
This year's is quite good. I enjoyed this year's.
Like from the 70s and stuff, there's a few bangers and that. You know, like obviously ABBA won it. I think end of the 60s they won it, beginning of the 70s. So it's not like every Eurovision song ever has been bad, but recently it's when people go, "Oh, I love this song. This song's great. Oh, this song's great." It's kind of like at the beginning of FPL when we all start going through 4 million defenders. Like this one is great for a 4 million defender versus other 4 million defenders. But if you got one of the songs that everyone thinks, "Oh, this is an absolute banger," from Germany or Turkey or wherever around Europe. I mean, England's is always shocking, but any of them, and then you put that to a sort, like you heard that on a night out without it ever being on Eurovision, you'd be like, "What is this?" So I guarantee people are knocking around with Eurovision songs on their whatever device they listen to. Like if they've got it on the phones, if they've got iTunes still or whatever, or Spotify playlists. They are actually explaining how every single pot works. This is.
Do you know they put Man City in Group A on like you can't be drawn in the same group with someone from your nation? So do you reckon Man City's going in Group A? And it could be
You're
that, you know.
talking about a conspiracy here, Cameron.
Yeah. Paid by the hour, these people.
There must be. Must be. I'm surprised they don't have more adverts in, to be fair. Try and get all the money. But I definitely think it's just something needs to change when the build-up is longer than the actual event.
Yeah.
It's got to be 50-50 at the very worst. And obviously it's great, 100% absolutely amazing that the Danish medical team were awarded beforehand. Like, take as long as you want with that. It's important. It's really, really great that they've been acknowledged for what they've done, and it's spreading awareness. And it is diverse. It's something that we don't see every year. And the players of the year, each one, absolutely fine. But like, they're going through these teams like we've never heard of them. They're going through the groups like A, we've never seen a draw before, and B, like we've got any comprehension of what's going on anyway, with all the obligatory little niggling rules. Just pick the name out. No one cares otherwise.
They are going through the individual teams.
They are going through the individual.
The little VTs. Like,
It is pretty rough, to be fair.
I think what they're doing right now is they're going through all the teams in pot one, then they'll draw all the teams out of pot one, won't they?
Yeah.
hopefully.
Let's make a note for next season. If we'll start streaming at 5:30.
Or 6.
Whatever. Or 6. Here we go. Pot 1. Which effectively actually doesn't matter at all. Get your typing fingers ready, Aaron.
They're ready. I don't know what else they're explaining.
I honestly, as you can see, the names are in little miniature balls.
It's even weirder when your TV's on mute.
He's showing. This is unbelievable. For anyone not watching, he's showing them how to spin the balls to pull the balls out.
To be fair,
Abdul's saying the format's different this time.
Branislav Ivanovic picking out.
That's why I didn't realize that was Ivanovic. I didn't realize he was bald.
Man City drawn out first.
See, I told you being groupie.
Well, they're going to do another one to say what group they're in. Oh no, they're not.
So it's rigged.
No, they're not. Well, they might. Branislav Ivanovic looks like Agent 47, doesn't he? There.
That's what's
from Hitman.
Allardyce does, yeah.
Atletico Madrid out next. Atletico. Just put Atletico M.
I'll just put A. Madrid. I'll do that.
There we go. Aaron knows what he's doing. Oh, Sporting Clube de Portugal. Aaron, you got to type all that out. Sporting Clube de Portugal.
With all the accents, please.
I don't even know where they are on the keyboard.
Oh, I'd like it. I suppose if Juventus, is it possible? No, they're all in pot two. I was going to say I'd like to see a Cristiano Ronaldo group of all these ex teams, but I think everyone's in pot one or pot two. We've got FC Internazionale Milan.
Milano.
Here we go.
They've been quite good this season, haven't they?
Big Branny with the next pick. Group A, FC Bayern München. The next one.
At least
What?
Man City are in Group A,
What
which
is
means they'll get.
Ivanovic doing? Yeah, you see him. He's dead staring someone while slowly spinning it.
With Man City in Group
frightening,
A, we'll
man.
get to see the lineups before our teams get.
Hopefully,
nice.
Villarreal is up next. We don't know because we don't know whether it's Group A that'll play first. Because I'm sure they messed it up last year, didn't they? When
Yep.
C and D played first, so we don't know.
You are correct, Daniel. Two more. Chelsea or the other one? Lille.
Or the
It's
other
the other one, mate. LOSC Lille. I hope you type in the other one.
Lua.
Lula.
I can get started typing this one.
Chelsea. London Blue.
Imagine if Ian winded it and it said Man City again. People would lose their minds. Conspiracy.
So what's Mike Alessi in this job?
I think he might be doing the next ones.
Just it says pot 2 next to Ivanovic. So
he might SCN might do 3 and 4. He might just be there to smile. He's got a lovely smile.
I think following from now, what they'll do is they'll draw the name and then they'll do another draw to say what group that person goes in.
Yeah.
Oh, here come the defenders.
Ruben Diaz wins Defender of the Year. No shocks there, I don't think. Was there anyone else that you think could be deserving of it?
I think he was no.
Nah. Rudiger potentially. He had a good end to the season, but I think Diaz.
Yeah. I think Rudiger and Chilwell, their run up and for Chelsea getting through were absolutely spectacular. But I appreciate Ruben Diaz is the best defender. So
I think it was because maybe Rudiger didn't get in because it was only at the back half of the season while Diaz
was all the way through, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Irene Paredes wins female, plays for PSG.
Nothing to say on this one.
Why is she at Barcelona? Or she signed for Barcelona?
No, she plays for PSG, doesn't she?
She's
did it sign for Barcelona? How did you say?
Well, she's at
I think
women's team.
She looks a little more relaxed than Benjamin Mendy. Edouard Mendy, sorry.
Yes, definitely more relaxed than Benjamin Mendy at the minute.
Yeah, that was inappropriate. Sorry, it was a legitimate mistake. I wasn't trying to be controversial.
He's in the cells.
Cancel culture's out to get us now.
Couple of comments here from the chat.
Diaz, well deserved. Can't argue. Aspilicueta, maybe. I don't think it's a bad shout. I suppose it's just as simple as comparing, and you go, it would be Diaz. But I think Aspilicueta had a fantastic latter half of last season in particular. He's been pretty poor, I think, at the start of the season. I think he was comfortably the worst player against Arsenal. Getting caught out.
But I don't think it really matters.
Got megged from about 10 yards away as well when Reece James nearly gave away that penalty.
Now they're going through pot 2.
Pot 2 in the first two teams, Real Madrid, Barcelona, and then Juventus.
Liverpool's in there, PSG. Whew. This should be pot 1.
Man United. Yeah, I was saying this is outside of one or two teams in pot 1. Pot 2 was just full of all the big names, absolute monsters. I think pot 1 of you're looking at Man City.
Mason Greenwood didn't get in the England team.
Did he not?
And Jesse Lingard did.
Patrick Bamford did.
Don't get us started. Don't get us started on that. Awful.
I just saw him on the VT. I popped in my mind.
I listened to the Southgate interview, and he said that Mason Greenwood's time isn't now, and that we need to be careful to make sure that his time in the England team is at the right time in his career.
I still think you don't like
He's
him.
full of nonsense. He's full of absolute nonsense.
I still think he doesn't like him off the Phil Foden thing.
Yeah. So here we go. The first team drawn out is Borussia Dortmund.
Oh,
Where do we think Borussia Dortmund are going to go?
Sporting.
So it tells you
I
there,
think
so they can only... Oh, no, sorry.
Only going A, B, C, or D, I believe.
Yeah.
Yeah, C.
Michael Essien's job has been revealed. He's picking out what group they go into. Bringing back the skinny tie as well. C, Sporting. Well guessed, Cameron. Are you from the future?
Yeah, how far ahead is your stream?
Yeah.
I'm behind you.
Thank you. Erling Braut Haaland, first name in my team.
He's already in my... Oh, I can't really remember my team. I just auto-completed it. I think he was in.
Real Madrid. Yeah, we'll go. Obviously can't be in B. A, D, E, G, H.
So that one's quite wide open.
Give us a group.
It can't be B. I don't know what that was showing us there, but it can't be B, obviously.
Dilly ding, dilly dong.
Group D. He's struggling with how to show this. That's going to be a meme, isn't it?
So that was Real Madrid, wasn't it?
Fooling around with that D.
Yeah.
Inter Real Madrid. They were together last year, I believe.
Yeah, the way
Why does Ivanovic look like a robot doing this?
He looks like an android from Detroit.
Like, yeah. Yes, he does. Liverpool. I reckon they're going to get Villarreal, Liverpool.
No, I think Atletico Madrid.
I hope not.
Could be Bayern.
Oof. Here we go. Atletico Madrid. Cameron.
This is... I swear, my stream is
You work for
you.
UEFA.
I swear it's behind
This
you.
is a fix.
Ivanovic and a Serbian charisma.
He looks like the guy, the guy out the Goonies. The Hey You Guys.
No, Sloth.
He does.
Sloth from the Goonies. It's nothing like them, Cameron. Terrible shout. But Paris Saint-Germain have been drawn with
straight into
Manchester City.
That's a group.
Oh my goodness, yes. And
Could
especially
have Messi, Ronaldo in the group
Messi
stage.
again. What Ronaldo Messi again? Juventus.
So any of the remaining groups they can go in.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know who. who I'd want these to have. So I don't fancy any Juventus assets. So you want a strong team against Villarreal or Lille. I don't want Juventus against them. Chelsea, come on, Juventus, Chelsea, that'd be all right. Or Bayern. H Chelsea. That's good. That's good for Chelsea defenders, I think. Lukaku, 6 games against Juventus in his career, 5 of them for Inter. He scored 1 goal in the last game, and it was a penalty. So I don't think he's overly great at the minute, which I like. Less headaches. Barcelona next to be drawn. We'll see who these have got. Can't be Villarreal. Has to be Bayern or Lille. Bayern. Come on, Bayern.
Yeah. I think Bayern.
Yeah, Bayern. Of course you think Bayern, Cameron. Because it is Bayern. And you're living in the future.
Cameron, you just want to tell us the rest of the rest of these, please?
We don't have to be here, Cameron. You could have just told us this hours ago.
Yeah. Didn't have to listen to these interviews.
Sevilla in Group G. Again, Sevilla defense now looking really, really strong there. I think
a rematch of the Europa League final.
Diego Carlos at 4.5 mil is looking very, very tasty.
Europa League finalists in Group F.
Yeah.
Let's hope it doesn't go to penalties.
See how both those teams respond.
And then it'll be midfielder of the tournament.
Watch Sheriff get drawn into Group G, and we'll be absolutely raging.
Is Alphonso Davies' girlfriend a midfielder, or she was classed as a forward?
Alphonso Davies?
Yeah,
his
girlfriend
forward?
plays. No,
his
girlfriend.
Oh, sorry.
Because she won the Champions League. So she might get midfielder. Apparently she's quite good.
Seriously, Cameron's got inside.
Got quite a lot of response to that last bit.
Both the Isle clubs in one group. Not Nice, it's PSG, mate. Isle Derby. Yeah, that'd be good if Mbappe leaves. I don't think the value's been met though. 130 million.
How can Real Madrid afford him? I thought they had no money.
N'Golo Kante, midfielder of the competition. I would agree with that.
Yeah.
I still regret not captaining him on the last day.
Alexia, is that?
No, she's called Jordan.
I think it's crazy that this has took longer than an hour.
Nearly there.
Like, it's going to take longer than an hour.
Barcelona absolutely stacked, aren't they? Nick, Diego Carlos going straight in my team at 4.5 million. I agree, Nick. I think he's going into mine. Just instinct here. Jorginho wins Player of the Year. I am not of that opinion, Daniel, as people that listen to us regularly. I know you do. You listen to everything. Will know. Hipster pick.
Oh, Kante keeps the speech short.
Love you, Kante. That's why we love you, short and sweet.
Just go, yeah,
just like you work in midfield.
To be fair, he is quite short.
How tall is Kante?
5-6, I imagine, something like that.
Yeah.
Right, so they're just going through the teams in Part 3 now. Shakhtar, who went through last night, didn't they? They were 2-0 down to Monaco. Managed to get it back to 2-2 in extra time and qualified.
Monaco is struggling this season.
Yeah, they are. The French, honestly, the French teams are. Have a look at the results. Lyon, Lille.
Yeah, Angers are doing quite well, though.
Are they?
Yeah, the second, I think.
They played a game more than everyone else as well. I'm there 3 games in, so we've got a little bit more data to work off for those so far.
You can't really tell how teams are doing until 8 to 10 games in, I think.
Yeah. For last season's previews, I had to work off friendlies. It was an absolute nightmare.
I'm going to call it now. AC Milan, Group A or Group E? Which will be rough.
AC Milan, Group C. That's where I think they'll go.
That'd be nice.
Or B. I'm going to say B, actually. Right, so we've got Shakhtar Donetsk. Best of luck spelling Shakhtar, Aaron.
I've got it up here on my phone.
That rogue H knocking in and around.
I heard one of the PTs at the gym where I work. They had a quiz where you had to spell some of these players or team names, like Mkhitaryan and stuff like that. It was awful. Wijnaldum caught a lot of people out.
What a horrible quiz.
Pretty brutal, to be fair.
Yeah. Group D for Shakhtar in
against what? It's just a repeat of last year.
It's a repeat of last year. It's exactly the same as last year.
Are we watching last year's draw?
Before they move on to this year's.
Oh, got there in the end.
Who was the fourth? The fourth team was Mönchengladbach, though, wasn't it?
Yeah. So it'll be Wolfsburg.
Wolfsburg, Group D, written in the stars.
I have a newfound love for Branislav Ivanovic.
Why?
Just the way he's so precise. Do we get points for these awards? Did you mention something like a man of the match gets 3 points?
Yeah, they get extra points this year. Man of the match. Just go for big names. Big names. Commentators don't have the bollocks to be picking out little niche picks that actually deserve to get man of the match.
So left backs and right backs will not get it.
Gosens and Mela might for Atalanta because the commentators would have heard of them because of the Euros now.
Yeah.
Oh, Oliver Kahn there. Looking like an American oil baron. Just missing a Stetson. Right. Football Club Zenit. Aaron? These are a bad team. Oh, sorry. Yeah, I forgot to mention that Benfica went into Group E. Didn't talk about them at all. All the Bs in Group E.
Man, they're taking their sweet time.
I know.
It's a group.
Well, it's Branislav Ivanovic staring everyone out as he slowly opens it. Group H.
Oh, I was wrong.
That's a lovely group for Chelsea, that. Yeah. Hopefully, by the time it starts, we know whether Alonso or Chilwell and whether it's Reece James or Aspilicueta on the other side. Just really difficult not to go one of those with that group. We've got RB Leipzig next. Angelino.
Oh, there's only 4 groups they can go in.
Didn't play at the weekend. Angelino won the one. I think they won 4-0. Didn't play. They lost 1-0 the week before when he did play. So I don't know with the new manager how he's playing. I might have to have a look at that. Because they don't play with wing backs anymore. It looks like they're playing 4-2-3-1. So he might not be a big of a shout as normal, but Group A. He's just nodding away. It's fine. It's fine.
I think that group's ending how Aaron's got it wrote out or written out.
Leipzig did a really, really good job against PSG last year. Man City just replacing Man United for the same group last year, really, at the minute.
I just think PSG have gone up a level this year.
Like, Atalanta gonna go in with Atletico and Liverpool again. Calling
Here we go.
Oh no, they can't. They can't for some reason.
F or G.
I think they could do C as well.
Yeah, C.
I think it came up with a red for C. I don't know, I might be wrong, but just with the other teams that are left. F. Atalanta are in with Villarreal and Man United. Very happy with that. I'm confident with the Mailer or Gossen's pick now. Very confident with that. I'd also be confident with Man United picks as well. Yeah. I think currently Bruno's winning the midfield battle between De Bruyne, him and Salah as the premium. We've got Salzburg.
Group A just seems to be all the money, doesn't it?
Come on,
People
Group B.
complaining and enjoying that Leipzig have all the money.
Group B, Salzburg. Group G, Lille, Sevilla, Salzburg.
Tough group.
So I think this is the group that I think is going to take arguably the most work for in the preview pods for us, because it's such a level playing field between these three, if we're being honest. Salzburg have lost a lot of their great players. Porto are the last team, so Porto... Oh, no, they're not the last team, sorry. Second last team. Penultimate team.
And they've got
Salzburg,
obviously
they've lost Dominic Soboslai, Daka. Previously, they've obviously lost Juan, they've lost Minamino, they've lost Minamino, sorry. They've lost Haaland. So they're constantly getting butchered. They're the Southampton of the Champions League. So Porto in Group B and Ajax in Group C. That Dortmund group looks really good. I think 8 million for Rice and 11 million for Haaland.
Oh, Haaland's
very, very nice. Very nice.
I think he's just won forward of the tournament.
Yeah, he has. Don't think he had much competition, to be honest, did he?
No, not really.
No. Timo Werner?
Yeah. Hermoso wins it for the ladies.
All Barcelona players.
You had a PSG player win.
Who's now a
Barcelona player. Barcelona won though, didn't they? Did they win the final against Chelsea?
By the looks of it, yeah.
They
absolutely smashed Chelsea, didn't they?
I believe so.
Yeah. And Chelsea are a really good team. So I don't think it's a surprise that the Barcelona ladies are pretty much winning everything. Here he is, Haaland, giving his speech, looking like a member of Hansen. Erling Braut Hansen. I really hope Milan doesn't go into Group A. Please, God, have some mercy.
No, I think
they're going to Group
Malmo's.
E. The group going to Group E instead.
I think Malmo looks like the type of team who go into Group A.
All the B's in Group B. Yep. Do I have any teams beginning with B in Pot 4?
Besiktas.
Get in. I think that's the only one.
Isn't it? So we've got Wolfsburg in Group D. Besiktas in E or A to replace Istanbul or to complete all the B's.
I think Malmo's going A. Just gets slaughtered every game.
I don't think Malmo's the worst team. I'd imagine Sheriff, perhaps. I think Malmo will be well organised. Do young boys play on a real pitch now? They used to play on an artificial pitch. That's how long it's been since I've watched young boys.
I don't know. I think when they played Man United in the Europa League a few years ago, they still played on a plastic pitch.
Because that'll make a difference. Salzburg even lost Dominic Szoboszlai. Yeah, I would mention that. You're right. They've lost a lot of players. Big Sobo. Pot 4. Here we go. Point to mention though with Sobo, he's had a great start for Leipzig. Really, really excellent start on a personal level. He didn't play last season when he signed for them. He was injured and just couldn't quite get his fitness back. Obviously missed the Euros for Hungary. So the first team is young boys. Group F, young boys, with Villarreal, Man United, and Atalanta.
That's a good group.
That is a good group, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's another even group. Obviously, I think it's stacked. It's not even financially, obviously, stacked in Man United's favour, but the way that Atalanta and Villarreal play with a legitimate identity. But if Man United want to play counter-attacking football, and they won't be as tired, I think they'll have more legs. Here we go. Besiktas. Oh, they can't be in A. I don't know if I could see if they were allowed to be in E or not.
No, they're allowed to be in E.
Group C. Way to ruin it, Michael. One job. Besiktas. I'm glad that Dortmund have avoided Milan. Oh, here we go. AC Milan.
Could be Bruges though. Oh, AC Milan. Bruges and E could still keep it going.
Oh yeah, could be Bruges.
Oh, it's going to be A or
on the
B.
Club Bruges.
Oh, it's going to be A or B. They're the only ones who are allowed. Oh no.
Might be Bruges the club.
Oh no. Come on, Michael Essien, be kind to me.
B.
Yes.
That is
Malmo
a very,
still on for
very,
A.
very nice group. That. To be fair, who won? If Atletico Madrid were Barcelona, I know that obviously couldn't be because of the pot. It would have been the 4 winners in a row there, wouldn't it? 2004, 2005, 2006, 2007. If Barcelona had just won the league. Wolfsburg only allowed into Group G and H, I believe, from what I saw.
If they go into G, that'll be a brilliant group.
They've got Group G.
Yeah.
They'll all of those teams be looking at that going, how have we managed to pull this off?
Sheriff was sat there going, please don't give us Group A.
Club Bruges. Come on, Bruges, right? Who we got? I think to go through, they'd won Group D. Obviously, for our little thing, we won Group E because of the Bruges. But are they allowed Group D? Yes, I believe they are. Oh, Group A.
Oh, well.
There's the team I'm supporting this year in the mud. Malmo.
Group H.
Oh, Group E, come on. Lewandowski v Malmo. Stuff of dreams, that.
You want them games where he gets injured.
They'll play Eric Choupo-Moting up front. Scored 4 goals, got 2 assists last night in a 12-0 win.
I was going to say, but they played Farmers.
Yes. Group H. Lukaku versus Malmo. But Tuchel will rotate for that game. Malmo's now a wasted fixture. There's no way he's playing a strong team in that game. Vern, I'll be up front for that.
Unless he plays Werner all the Champions League.
Dynamo Kiev.
Do you think E, Aaron?
Yeah, I kept getting confused because, well, yeah, they are. Because I was like, they might be in the same area as Shakhtar.
Shakhtar's Ukraine, isn't it?
Yeah. Where's
Yeah, so in Dynamo Kiev is Ukraine.
Dybala.
Dino. Just put Kiev. Chicken Kiev. In Sheriff. Or with Inter, Real Madrid and Shakhtar.
Yeah, them players be loving life. Going to the Bernabeu, San Siro.
Yeah, San Siro's not there anymore, is it?
Did they not play there? Or did they knock it down?
Still
right,
there for
Aaron?
now.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
going
still
to
there
say.
for now.
I thought they played there.
Are they still playing there? Are they? I thought they played all the games at Atlanta last year because they were knocking it down or moving or something. Am I wrong?
Yeah, it was meant to, but 2 seconds.
Was it because
It
of
just
COVID?
says
I
that the
imagine?
project is on hold. Yeah, that's all it says. So
Yeah. Must be why. Oh, yeah, well, great. Great for them. Food for thought. I think there, but I mean, Haaland is just looking absolutely incredible in that Group C. Absolutely incredible. And I think even Atalanta defenders you could probably trust in that group.
thanks for UEFA for taking so long. I'm now late, so I'll have to.
No bother. Well, thanks everyone for watching with us. We didn't expect it to be this long either. Like we say, next year we'll probably just jump on it half an hour into the proceedings, so that we're not here for over an hour. Again, thanks so much for listening. Please follow us on Twitter. We are at UCL Fantasy Pod. Cameron, thanks so much for jumping on as ever. Cameron, what's your Twitter handle?
At Untold Story Pod _
Terrific. We will be out obviously later on with group previews and stuff, but we will be doing some more content in between. We'll be promoting it on Twitter as well. But Aaron, I can see you raring to go, so we'll let everyone go. Thanks so much, everyone. Champions League's back. See ya.